The second season of Sakamoto Days anime will likely begin in this chapter of the manga, so in this video we will review Chapter 37 of Sakamoto Days, where we witness a new threat that will face the Sakamoto family and the Order. That, and everything else that unfolds, is what we're about to dive into. So sit back, relax, and let's go. The scene begins at Sakamoto's convenience store, where Wu-Tang became a staff member. As promised, he's ready to share information about the individuals responsible for putting a bounty on Sakamoto's head. However, while Wu-Tang speaks, Sakamoto, Shin, and Liu are busy with their tasks, completely ignoring him. Annoyed, Wu-Tang snaps, "Can you listen for a while?" Shin responds, "We are listening." Liu adds, "It's your fault, Wu-Tang. Because of you, we have to double our work since we're behind schedule." Shin agrees, saying, "Can you at least help us so we can talk properly?" Frustrated but no other choice, Wu-Tang puts on an apron. Shin teases him, "It suits you well." Wu-Tang, still irritated, replies, "I am a triad advisor. If I work here, I'll charge you an hourly rate." Wu-Tang then turns to Sakamoto and asks, "Have you heard the name Slur?" Sakamoto, while recalling what Nagumo had told him before, replies, "Slur? The assassin killer?" Wu-Tang answers, "It's good that you know. That man, Slur, is the one who put the bounty on your head." Shin sighs, "We already knew that." Liu said, "What about his identity or location?" Wu-Tang answered, "Unfortunately, no one knows that information." Shin, Liu, and Sakamoto look disappointed. Shin exclaims, "Huh? Are you serious? After all the trouble we went through to beat you in that game, that's all you have for us? We just wasted our time." Wu-Tang yells back, "Can you all just listen? I'm not done talking yet." He takes a deep breath. "Almost everything about Slur is a mystery, but I've uncovered something. A clue." Shin quickly asks, "What kind of clue?" Wu-Tang explains, "A few days ago, in a maximum security prison in Southeast Asia, 4 death row inmates were killed. These prisoners had been sentenced to death and were waiting for their executions. But here's the strange part. Their faces were burned, and an X-shaped blood mark was left where they were killed." Shin replies, "So what does that mean? Did Slur kill them? But why?" Wu-Tang continues, "I have a contact who works with dead bodies. Recently, some unusual corpses were found here in Japan. One body had multiple holes in it, another had its skin peeled off, the third was cut into many pieces, and the last one was crushed into a ball, so small it could fit in someone's hand." Liu was disgusted hearing all this. Then Shin said to Wu-Tang, "So what's the connection between these bodies and the inmates?" Wu-Tang responds, "The way these victims were killed matches the killing styles of those 4 inmates before they were imprisoned." Those words make Shin and others shocked. Wu-Tang continues, "This could mean that those inmates weren't actually killed. Their deaths might have been faked and they've already escaped to Japan. If that's the case, they're the ones responsible for these gruesome murders." The scene then shifts to Shinjuku, where people are whispering about 4 foreigners who have caught their attention. Maybe they're athletes or martial artists, one person speculates. One of the 4 foreigners comments, "Looks like we attracted too much attention." The other one said, "My food has pickles in it. I told them I don't want pickles." The third complains, "Why are Japan's hamburgers so small?" And the fourth just laughs. At this moment, the manga introduces us to the 4 foreigners, the escaped death row inmates Wu-Tang mentioned earlier. The name of the first one was Dump. Her crimes committed was murder, armed robbery, and illegal disposal of bodies. The number of victims she killed was 180. The second one, who is reading a manga, was named Saw. His crimes are murder, armed robbery, illegal disposal of bodies, and unusual way of killing. He has 64 victims already. The next one is named Apart. He was the one who hated pickles, and his crimes are murder, unusual way of killing, and kidnapping. The total of his victims are 206. The last, but not the least, is Minimalist, and his crimes are murder and armed robbery. The number of his victims was the highest of the 4, which is 370. Dump then asks, "What are we supposed to do here?" Saw replies, "We wait and read some manga." He then looks at Apart and asks, "Why are you picking stuff out of your food?" Apart replies that he doesn't want pickles, and he said it already to them, but they still put it. Minimalist grabs Apart's burger and crushes it with his bare hand until it's the size of a marble, then eats it. Then Apart said, "That was my Big Mac. I just want to die." Saw laughs and hands him some fries. "Here, have some fries." Apart replies, "Thanks. But does anyone know if these fries have pickles?" Saw said to himself, "This guy is weird as hell." The scene shifts again, this time to a restaurant where Kashima was talking to someone. "Sorry to keep you waiting. Thank you for making it here in Japan. Now let's discuss about what we're gonna do next," Kashima says. Dump replies, So you're the weirdo who got us out of prison? It turns out that Wu-Tang was right. Kashima and Slur was the one responsible of the escape of the 4 death row inmates. Then Kashima hands them a list. I want you to kill the people on this list. Dump looks at it and asks, who are these people? Kashima replies, they are all threats to our organization. Minimalist added, I don't care who's on the list as long as we can do whatever we want. Apart hesitates. Some of them look strong. What if I get killed and chopped into pieces? Dump said, our targets are all ugly. Saw laughs, pointing at a name on the list. I thought Japanese people were serious. Why would you include this fat guy? Is he really a threat TP your organization? Kashima warns them, be careful with those names. If you let your guard down, you won't live to regret it. The 4 inmates fall silent. Then, Minimalist said, you think that fat guy could beat us? He suddenly grabs the table and crushes it into a tiny ball with his hand. We'll kill them all before the month ends. Then you'd better have another list ready. As they leave, they tell Kashima, if there's no new list after this, we'll do whatever we want in Japan. Kashima watches them go, holding the crushed table in his hand, saying to himself, these people don't kill for a living, they live to kill. What I am doing right now is what the master has told me, because I was defeated recently. Now what I will do is to trust and observe. After the introduction of the 4 inmates, we are back here at the convenience store where Wu-Tang is warning them, you don't understand the danger you're facing. I plan to take Lu back home before it's too late. Sakamoto, you should leave as well. But Sakamoto tells Shin, we need to make contact with the inmates. We might get more information about Slur. Wu-Tang is left stunned. Then Shin said that they need to contact the JAA as soon as possible, and Lu said that she will say this in advance to Heisuke. Wu-Tang then shouts, are you all idiots? Did you not hear me? These people are on another level. They are killers. Monsters. Sakamoto replies calmly, if they're that dangerous, then they have all the reasons to stop them from harming civilians here in Japan. With that, the Sakamoto family prepares to face the escaped inmates who are now hunting them and other targets, including Nagumo, Sakamoto's old friend, and an order member. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll witness the insane strength of these death row inmates and the order's next move, which is where we can also witness the insane ability of this legendary order member. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.